It's very interesting that because expectation and waiting and is at the center of the play, and with this we go into to end. I could not stop myself because we are of more or less the same age. We are 30-year-olds, 30-something-year-olds, and so and we've both been brought up in Spain. Although I have this wonderful British accent, I was brought up in Spain as well, and so we have very similar experiences. And I couldn't stop seeing in Telemaco as a sort of hero of our generation, because of course we were a generation that we were promised a lot when we were teenagers. We were told that if we worked hard, if we studied hard, if we fought hard, we would be able to be better off even than our parents. Our parents had reached these great positions or these comfortable positions, and we could actually get even more comfortable positions if we worked hard. And then we had a world that started to disintegrate after 9/11 in 2001. That's kind of the beginning of the problems in a way. But then that continued just 7 years later with the crash in 2008. And then, of course, we had other crisis after crisis after crisis, Brexit, Trump, etc., until the pandemic, in which really our future was completely suspended. So, and this is all to do in a way with the expectations, or what Telemaco thinks about is that all of this waiting and these expectations that are not happening are in a way because they have been created by generations before, but that the creation of that is a fallacy, that actually our parents could never know that we were going to be better, and that actually they were basing it on their own little fantasy of how they were. Because another interesting thing about Telemaco is that these narratives of our parents, these narratives of our elders, if you want, maybe not quite our parents, but of our elders, are fallacies, and that Odysseus can be seen as the great hero, but he can also be seen as a genocide, and that it all depends on how you frame it. And it coincides that our generation also has seen all of these heroes of the past falling, great Hollywood producers being accused of sexual abuse, huge corruption. So all of these previous generations that are supposed to be what we are to be better, they actually are not that perfect. They're not that wonderful. And we can't have the chance to be the wonderful people that we have created in a way, that it's the great frustration that we have worked very hard and we are engaged with this and we want our chance, but our chance is never coming. And Telemaco proposes what I think we are working towards, and that is a new type of heroism, a new type of dealing with the world, which comes from caring, from intimacy, from anti-heroism, from quietness, from a place of understanding and care. Anyway, this is me just going on about these ideas because I don't know how to create this into a question, but I just wanted to share my ideas with you to see how you also think about these things and how relevant you think that my ideas are, or how you see them in your way.
Absolutely relevant, because everything you have said has been a conversation we have had during our lives and during the creation of the piece, and I relate a lot with everything you have said, because I mean, what Telemaco and the whole play is a direct response to my anxieties, and my anxieties have a lot to do with everything you have just said. This question also regarding hope but should I wait a little bit longer? Is it because it's not just yet, but it will happen, and if I give up, it was just, I should wait 1 year longer, and I have how to deal with that, and this was not what I was promised or what I expected. And also there's this playwright called Dennis Kelly. I really love him, and there's a play where he says something about there's a character of a girl, I don't know if 14, 15, 16, but she says a sentence that really resonates with me and resonates with the play, and I think I say something really similar. That is, I thought there were grown-ups. I used to think there were grown-ups, but now I know there's just us. That, I think, has a lot to do with our generation and with Telemachus, because he is sort of waiting for the adult to come back and deal with things, and things are wrong because the adult has gone away, and the sort of having to decide, am I an adult, so should I take matters into my own hands, and how do I do that? And also this thing you have talked about with the whole, of course, sexual abuse scandals, Me Too, Trump, blah, 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 the feeling of, hey, they maybe don't know what they are doing. Maybe there's no one there that's, because it doesn't seem like there's someone responsible out there. But I was brought up with this notion of, if something goes wrong, search for a responsible adult. He will know, or she will know what to do. But now I'm like, I don't know about that. They seem to be as confused and fucked up, sorry for the, as we are. And also then that should mean, then maybe we as a generation should have the chance of doing something. But that also is really scary, the responsibility of being an adult, of being the hero of Ithaca. That's also, I think, something that has a lot to do with Telemachus, and that has a lot to do with at least my anxieties, and I think our generation, that the moment we decide, okay, individually, we decide, okay, I am the adult, that also means we have to be responsible. And that is scary, because of course I wish somebody would come and say, I know how to deal with the climate crisis. Oh, please, I wish that will happen. But I think the adult thing to do is, that is not going to happen. And that is us. And let's face it, Odysseus is not going to come and save the day. Because also, what we think, or we have said a hero is, or Odysseus is, it's also, he's a horrible person because he's genocide, if we see it from the other way around. So yeah, I really think that all of these things you have said, it is what we have talked about, and I'm so glad to hear you that you have related in this way to what we did and with the play, because that was exactly what we were thinking about and trying to at least have a conversation